If you are over 60 and the whites of your eyes look even a shade more yellow than they did a year ago, your liver is sending up a flare, and most doctors will never mention it at your next visit. Not because they are hiding anything from you, baby. It is because there is no pill at the end of this conversation. The appointment is 15 minutes long, and a sign you read in your own bathroom mirror does not fit on a billing sheet. But your face has been talking to you for months, maybe years. And after 60, the body is quietly destroying itself underneath while everyone keeps telling you it is just aging. In the next few minutes, I am going to walk you through 10 warning signs your face shows when the liver is in trouble. Number 1 will surprise most of you because 9 out of 10 folks see it every morning and blame it on poor sleep. Number 3 is the one your spouse has noticed and has not told you about. And by the time we get to the master sign, you will know exactly what to look for tomorrow morning. Stay with me because the order matters. Each sign builds on the one before it. Hey y'all, my name is Jada Brown, and for over 50 years, I have been sharing the old school wellness wisdom my mama and my grandmother brought up from the Caribbean, the kitchen cures, the morning bitters, the things our women have been doing long before anyone called it wellness. My grandmother used to say something I have never forgotten. She said, "Child, all sickness starts in the belly and tells on itself in the face." The belly and the liver, they sit together like sisters, and what one suffers, the other shows. The labs have finally caught up to that, but here is what they have added that my grandmother could not have known. After the age of 60, your gut loses nearly half of the helpful bacteria it had at 30. Half. And the liver depends on those bacteria the way a kitchen depends on a clean sink. Hold that fact in your mind because by the end of this video, it is going to explain everything. Now let us get into it. Sign number 10 is something most of you blame on getting older or on a bad night's sleep. Dark circles under the eyes that just will not lift. You wake up after 8 hours and they are still there. You drink your water and they are still there. The skin under your eyes is the thinnest skin on your whole body, baby. It is paper. When the liver gets sluggish, it cannot process the body's waste compounds the way it used to, and those compounds back up into the bloodstream. We call them metabolic byproducts, which is a fancy way of saying the trash the body makes every day that the liver is supposed to take out. When the trash truck slows down, the trash piles up. And the corner of your body where it shows first is right under your eyes. Here is the part nobody told you. After 60, the liver loses about 30 to 40% of its blood flow capacity. The trash truck slows down even when you have done nothing wrong. My grandmother used to point at a woman's under eyes and say her liver is tired, and we would steep her some dandelion bitters that afternoon. The fix is simple. Half a fresh lemon squeezed into warm water, first thing in the morning, before coffee, before food. Sip it slow. That gets you part of the way home. But if the gut bacteria underneath have already declined by half, the lemon water is wiping the counter while the sink is still clogged. We will come back to the sink in a minute. Sign number 9 is a yellow tint to the skin or the whites of the eyes. Now this one is serious. Walk to a window with natural light, look at the whites of your eyes, and look at the skin around your jaw. A faint yellow cast is not a tan, not a light bulb, not a filter on your phone. That is bilirubin, a pigment the liver normally clears out of the body. When the liver cannot keep up, bilirubin floats around and dyes the tissue it passes through. Older skin shows it sooner because the pigment cells thin out with age. If you see a yellow cast in your eyes, baby, do not wait. Speak to your doctor this week. The kitchen remedies come after the doctor visit, not before. But here is what surprises most folks. The same women who go to the doctor and get told their blood work is fine still have yellow in their eyes 6 months later. Why? Because the blood work measures a snapshot. It does not measure the slow congestion happening between the gut and the liver every single day. We will get to what to do about that. Sign number 8 is redness in the palms of the hands and on the cheeks. Lean forward and look at your palms in good light. If the heel of your palm has gone a deep pink or red and your face has a flushed look that is not from the heat, that is the body holding too much estrogen. The liver breaks down old estrogen and sends it on its way. When the liver slows down, estrogen builds up, and one of the places it shows is in the small blood vessels of the palms and cheeks. The old aunties called it liver flush. The labs now call it palmar erythema. Same thing, my people. Add bitter greens to your plate, dandelion greens, arugula, watercress 2 or 3 times a week. The bitterness wakes the bile. Sign number 7, and this is one many of you hide with concealer instead of asking what it means. Spider veins on the face. Tiny red lines like little webs on the cheeks around the nose. They do not come from nowhere. When the liver gets congested, pressure builds in the small veins close to the surface of the skin, and the walls of those vessels weaken. They balloon out and you see them. I had a neighbor, Patricia, 68, retired from the post office. She had spider veins on both cheeks she had been covering for years. We worked on her diet, took the fried foods down, brought in beets and bitter greens and dandelion root tea. 3 months in, she had improved but not finished. The veins on her left cheek were still there. That is the part of this work that used to frustrate me, my people. I would get a woman 70% of the way home, and the last 30% would just sit there no matter what we did. For years, I could not figure out why. Hold that thought because we are getting to the answer. Sign number 6 is a puffy, swollen look around the jawline and under the chin in the morning. You wake up and your face looks fuller than it did at bedtime. By mid-afternoon, it has settled. By the next morning, it is back. That is fluid. The liver helps the body manage the proteins that hold water in the right places. When the liver is struggling, water moves into the soft tissues of the face and pools there overnight. Sleep on 2 pillows so your head sits a little higher. Cut back hard on salty processed food, the soup from the can, the deli meat, the chips. Speak to your doctor before changing any blood pressure medicine. Sign number 5 is dry, itchy patches that show up on the face and will not respond to any cream you put on them. You have tried every moisturizer in the drugstore. Nothing works. Because, child, the problem is not on top of the skin. It is underneath. The liver helps the body process the fats your skin needs to stay supple. When bile flow gets sluggish, those fats do not get where they need to go. The patches show up around the eyes, on the cheekbones, sometimes at the hairline. After 60, the skin's oil production has already dropped by half. A spoonful of cold-pressed olive oil on your salad. A small handful of walnuts a few times a week. Warm lemon water in the morning. The cream stays on the bathroom counter. The fix happens at the dinner table. But here's where I have to be honest with you, because if I am not honest with you, none of this works. For 30 years, I gave my clients exactly the advice I just gave you. The lemon water, the bitters, the greens, the beets. And it worked. It worked 70, maybe 80% of the way. But there was always that last stubborn percentage that would not lift. The under eye shadow that softened but never cleared. The spider vein that faded but stayed. The puffiness that came down but came back. And I could not figure out why until about 4 years ago, my own face started showing me something I could not fix with anything in my kitchen. The puffiness in my jaw, the dryness around my eyes. I was doing every single thing I had been taught for 50 years. And I was still seeing it. So I went looking. I read every gut and liver paper I could find. I called specialists. I asked younger doctors who had grown up with the new research. And what kept coming back was the same fact I shared with you at the beginning. After 60, your gut loses nearly half its helpful bacteria. The liver does not work alone. It works with the gut, and when the gut goes quiet, the liver gets buried in work it cannot finish. The old advice, the lemon water, the bitter greens, the dandelion, all of that helps the liver. It is the soil. But the soil is empty without the seeds, and the seeds cannot grow without the fruit they are supposed to make. 3 things, all working together. Prebiotics, which is the food the bacteria eat. Probiotics, the bacteria themselves. And postbiotics, the actual healing compounds the bacteria make once they are alive and fed. Most folks our age try a probiotic on its own and feel nothing. Now I understand why. You cannot plant a seed in dead soil and expect a harvest. That is when I found BoochBod. And I want to tell you exactly why I trust it, because I do not put my name on things lightly. It brings together all 3. The prebiotics that feed the good bacteria. The probiotics, including a hardy strain called lactospore that survives stomach acid the way most strains cannot. And the postbiotics, including one called postbiotics LM-4, which is the actual healing compound your gut should be making on its own, but has stopped making after 60. It also has the same dandelion root my grandmother kept in her kitchen back home in the islands, and slippery elm to soothe the gut lining. It is a gummy, not a pill, which I appreciate because nobody our age wants to swallow another capsule first thing in the morning. Over 30,000 folks are taking it now. And the ones I have personally watched, The last stubborn percentage that used to sit on their faces for months started lifting within the first 3 to 4 weeks. The link is in the description below. They offer a 60-day guarantee, which is the only kind of guarantee I respect at our age, because the gut takes time to rebuild. If it does not work for you in 2 months, you send it back and you do not pay. That is how I know they stand behind it. And please, my people, speak to your doctor before adding any supplement to your routine. That rule does not bend. If this channel has helped you today, hit that subscribe button before we go on. You have made it this far with me, which means you are the kind of person who actually wants to take care of yourself, and I want to keep finding you. That is all I ask. Now let me get back to your face, because we still have work to do. Sign number 4 is a change in the color of your tongue or the corners of your mouth. Stick out your tongue at yourself in the mirror. A healthy tongue is pink with a thin white film. A liver under stress shows you a tongue that has gone deeper red, sometimes purplish, sometimes with a thick yellow coating. Cracks in the corners of your mouth that will not heal are another flag. When the liver cannot pull its weight on B vitamins and iron, the soft tissues of the mouth thin out and split. After 65, our nutrient absorption already slows by about a third, which means the liver and the gut have to work twice as hard to pull what little we are giving them. Add a daily serving of leafy greens, lentils once or twice a week, and feed the gut alongside the liver, or you are pouring water into a cup with a hole in it. Sign number 3 is bad breath that brushing does not fix. I am not talking about garlic from last night's dinner. I'm talking about a sweetish, slightly musty smell that comes from deep inside, no matter how much you scrub. Folks call it liver breath. The science backs the old name. When the liver cannot fully break down certain compounds in protein, those compounds make their way out through your lungs. Your breath becomes the exhaust pipe. I had a client, Robert, 71, retired carpenter from Bozeman. He was driving his wife crazy because no toothpaste worked. We brought in milk thistle tea, daily lemon water, and cut his red meat back to twice a week. 6 weeks in, we were halfway there, but the smell was still there in the morning. And when we added the gut support, that is when his wife called me herself 10 weeks in and said, "Miss Jada, I can sit next to him in the truck again." The liver work alone got him 60%. The gut work was the other 40. Sign number 2 is a noticeable loss of facial fullness, especially around the temples and the cheeks. Look at a picture of yourself from 5 years ago, then look in the mirror. If your face has lost its roundness in places it used to hold, and your skin sits closer to the bone than it used to, that is more than aging. The liver makes the proteins that keep our skin and our muscles plump. When the liver slows, protein production drops, and the face shows it before the rest of the body does. The temples hollow, the cheeks flatten. After 70, the body's protein use becomes less efficient anyway, and a tired liver speeds the change. Bring in clean protein at every meal, a boiled egg at breakfast, beans at lunch, a small piece of fish or chicken at dinner, bone broth, my mama's standby, sipped warm in the afternoon. The face fills back in slowly, but it fills. And now, baby, we are at number 1, the single most important warning sign your face gives when the liver is asking for help. The sign I look for first when somebody sits across from me and tells me they do not feel right. A change in the eyes that goes deeper than the under-eye shadows. A yellowish tint in the whites of the eyes, paired with a dullness in the iris, paired with a heaviness in the eyelids that was not there a year ago. The whites of your eyes are the most honest mirror in your face. They have no makeup on them, no filter, no lighting trick. The yellowing comes from the same bilirubin we talked about earlier, but in the eyes, it shows up sooner and clearer than anywhere else. The old monks in the Caribbean villages knew this without any laboratory. They would lift a tired person's eyelid and read the news right there. I had a sister in our church, Frances, 76, retired nurse from Charleston. She came to me because her son, who had not seen her in 11 months, walked into her house and gasped when he saw her eyes. They had gone yellow. We sent her straight to her doctor first, that same week, and he confirmed early liver stress. Then we did everything I have shared with you today. The lemon water, the bitter greens, the dandelion, the protein at every meal. By month 4, the yellow had softened, but not cleared. Frances had been living 76 years on a gut that had lost half its bacteria, and no amount of tea was going to repopulate it. When we added the seed and the soil and the fruit together, that is when her eyes finished clearing. By month 6, she sent me a picture of herself in her garden, and the woman in that picture looked 10 years younger than the woman who had walked into my kitchen. The protocol for number 1, my people, is the protocol for every sign on this list. Look at your face in good light every morning. Sip your warm lemon water. Eat your bitter greens. Drink your bone broth. Cut what you know you should cut, and feed the gut bacteria the liver depends on, because after 60, they will not come back on their own. Let me lock this in for you. Number 10, dark circles, the metabolic backup. Number 9, yellow tint in the skin or eyes, the bilirubin warning. Number 8, red palms and flushed cheeks, the estrogen flush. Number 7, spider veins, the pressure flag. Number 6, morning puffiness, the fluid pool. Number 5, dry patches creams will not fix, the bile slowdown. Number 4, tongue and mouth changes, the nutrient warning. Number 3, breath brushing will not fix, the exhaust pipe. Number 2, lost facial fullness, the protein flag. And number 1, the yellowing in the whites of the eyes, the master sign that calls for the doctor that same week. Listen to me, my people. The signs in your face are not vanity. They are messages, and the body that gave you those messages can still heal. I have watched women at 75 turn it around. I have watched men at 80 bring color back to their cheeks and clarity back to their eyes. I want you to picture your hand reaching for the next jar at the back of the high kitchen shelf without anyone needing to come help you. I want you to picture yourself on the porch on a Sunday afternoon, your grandbabies climbing all over you, and you laughing without holding your side. That is what we are protecting here. Not numbers on a chart, mornings, afternoons, the people who love you. If your face has shown you any of these signs and you are ready to give your gut and your liver the partnership they have been missing, the BoochBod link is sitting there in the description with the 60-day guarantee. You try it for 2 months, and if your mirror does not tell you a different story, you send it back. That is the only ask I have for you today. Take care of yourselves out there, my people. I will see you in the next one.